All right, everybody. Feel free to start with some questions.
It seemed like the second quarter was the strongest shot, 57% from three. Obviously, had lead a few times. So just what happened there that was so successful that made us just sustain throughout the game?
Well, we made shots, which was a big thing, and then we rebounded the ball. We did not rebound the ball at all. I mean, at the under 5 timeout in the first quarter, we had 0 rebounds, which is it's pretty impressive. I mean, to play for 5 minutes and not figure out a way to get one or a rebound, it could be the first time that I've seen that. And that's where they were just getting second chance opportunities, scoring, and then we finally started to rebound and box out, and then you can get some transition opportunities when you rebound the basketball. So then we were able to put a good run together, came up with some stops, and I thought we did some really nice things. And then just some timely situation. We had some runs going, and you sit there and you show them I'm like, guys, because you fall down doesn't mean it's a foul. And then it's like 2 free throws, 3 free throws on the side. It's just things where it's like, God, when you're playing a team the caliber of them, it's like, God, guys, you can't stop the game with a missed call, and then all of a sudden it leads to 3 free throws and 2 free throws because you're trying to get a little bit of a run going. And because they're so talented, it's like shit. Instead of being up 5, now it's a 1-point game, or it's tied. And then we turned the ball over at times and did some bonehead things as well. But I thought our fight for 2.5 quarters was really good. I thought we rebounded, and then all of a sudden then late in the third, we didn't rebound the basketball. Then they started scoring again.
Jeff, just talking about Hidalgo, how effective she was for Notre Dame. I mean, what was kind of the plan going into this, containing her, and what was kind of the result, obviously, watching as she was able to kind of carve up later in the game?
Yeah, no, she's a big-time player. Made some really good shots. The shot there at the end of the first half was a really nice shot. And she does a great job of getting to the free throw line. And that's one of the things that we've talked about, trying to make sure that you stay vertical, don't swat down, and you've got to make her finish some tough shots. And she did. You got to tip your hat to them. I thought we really did a nice job on a few of the other kids. And, it's one of the things that as they progress and as teams that are facing them, Hidalgo's going to score. And she shot the ball really well, but she's a volume shooter, so she's going to take a majority of the shots. So you've got to know that's coming. And then we didn't score the ball very well. So when you don't score the ball very well, that's your problem. And I've said it all along, our field goal percentage defense, we're the worst in the ACC right now. And you can't, if you allow teams to shoot 50%, we're allowing teams to shoot 47% from the field on the season in the league play. That's just terrible. Now, we turn them over 23 times. And if we do a really good job of turning people over, but the problem is when they do get a shot, they're making 50% of them. If we could ever figure out how to guard and turn them over, get people, low 40s, high 30s, now all of a sudden you've got a chance to really make an impact on games.
Coach, any update on Nyla? I know she came back at the beginning of that.
She's fine. It was a little sublex probably. Got pulled out when she yanked it there. But then I think it popped back in, and she saw her doctors and so forth, and they said she was good to go. And I asked her, and she said she was good to go as well.
You talked about just the gradual process of some of those freshmen. McKinley came in, guessing that was a season high for rebounds. But how much does a game like this kind of throw someone like McKinley and Izella?
No, I think it's great. This is what they need. And, Izella had 4 assists, 2 turnovers, but there's times where they've got to start understanding the feel of the game, the time and score of the game. It's like an 8-9 point game, and then we have back-to-back bad possessions that lead to 5 points for them, and all of a sudden now an 8-point game is 13. Those are the areas that we're still trying to teach them. Because a lot of them come from, you're out there playing AAU ball, you're playing high school teams, that they're not in those situations where time and score matters. It's like, okay, I can't tell you the number of times we got an offensive rebound tonight and didn't have any idea what was on the shot clock. And we dribble it out past, I'm like, guys, there's only 2 seconds, you got to shoot it. And those are the moments that, as a player, you have to know that. And you have to have a feel for it. So I think for the freshmen, it's given them a chance to really experience and go, okay, now I understand. Because we'll take their minutes, we'll break them down, we'll watch film. Mari Berry's one that I think is going to be a big-time player for us. But she just got to figure out the urgency. She got stuck on a switch and was behind Westbeld and just stood behind her. Like, no, you got to fight to get around her. You got to circle it. You got to give that effort. Like, I'm just not surrendering. Because at the offensive end, she can score the basketball. But as I always like to compare it to him, I say, she had 5 points, but the 8 minutes, 8:44 she was in the game, we're -8. So, like, that's not a good thing. And I'm like, you've got to be able to take and learn from it and then have an attitude when you're on that floor. But I'm really proud of our freshmen. I think they're growing. Isla came in for 320 and did some really good things. So I told her, I'm going to tell her that, continue to work and develop and practice, and then you're going to get some more minutes as well.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, Jeff, how much do you see the potential for, in that second quarter, end of the first quarter, second quarter, Roberts had, 14 points, and McKinley had 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
They were pretty, they had a presence on the court during that. How much do you feel like you guys have the potential to flip this moving forward, where you have kind of the Hannah and the Olivia who can kind of take over a game?
Well, we're sitting here in a spot where we scored 71 points again. And if you look at the game notes, what's the record now when we score a 70?
341 and 34 loss.
So we're 334?
Yeah.
300.
341 and 34.
Okay, we won 341 and lost 34 games, and we score a 70 or more points here. It's not the offense. We got to guard somebody. You score 70, you should win basketball games, and we've proven that over 18 years. But right now, we're not defending like we have, and we've got to, or it puts a lot of pressure on you offensively to shoot it at a high clip. So I thought Taj is going to continue to develop and continue to grow. I'm really excited about that. All of our freshmen, they're learning. Everybody thinks it's easy. You come in, it's simple. No, it's not. It's a process. But I'm proud of them because they're working hard every day. And if they'll just stay focused on what they're doing and not worry about everybody out there talking to them and trying to tell them this or tell them that, they're going to do extremely well. And I like where they are, and I feel confident that they're going to continue to get better and better.
Jeff, are the defensive deficiencies more about not understanding things?
Toughness.
As opposed to effort?
It's toughness. It's you get hit by a screen, you can't get hit by a screen. I joke with them all the time. I'm like, hey, if I sat there and said every time you ran into a screen, it's $50, they would miss every single one of them. They'd be like, I ain't hitting that one. No, I'm around that one. But it's just, as soon as you run into one, even if it's just a half of a second, now you're in a mismatch. And that's the areas that we keep talking to them about. Like, we're the one chasing, which is what we talk about all the time on offense. We want people to chase us. We want to have the tempo in our favor where offensively we're moving so fast and reversing that basketball that they're chasing us. But right now we're the one on defense doing the chasing 90% of the time. And that's an area that we haven't had happen here in a long, long time because we've been pretty darn good at the defensive end of the floor. So we're going to keep showing them film, come up with new drills to do in practice because, what we're teaching them is not working, then we have to change. So we're going to try to figure out some new ways to teach the same thing because we know it works. But what we're doing is just not getting through to them.
Jeff, along those lines with defense, you guys have actually held Notre Dame to one of their lowest 3-point nights of the season. I think it was 30%. But they were able to outscore you guys by 16 in the paint. Is it more of a size issue with the defense, or is it just quickness and spacing?
Well, it's in anticipating. We're reacting. So if you react to the cut instead of jumping to the ball and anticipate it, shot goes up. You can't stand and stare at it. You got to go find a body. You know, the Sam Fiorins and my issues, the kids like that just own the glass when they were here. It's what they do. Even Nyla right now. You know, when a shot's taken, she's not staring at the ball. She's finding that person over there and putting a body on him and then going after the ball. We watch too much. And then you'll notice we have a lot of players that tip the ball. They'll go up with one hand and try to tip it. If you can tip it with one, grab it with two. And those are drills that we do in practice. So we're trying to get them better and better because rebounding is the key. If you can't rebound the basketball, it puts a lot of pressure on you offensively because then you have to shoot high 40s, 50% from the field to just give yourself a chance to be in ball games. I appreciate everybody. Thanks so much. Huh?
Lakers trade.
I was waiting for me, or who'd they trade?
Lakers. They get not.
Oh, you know what? I was anticipating that they would want me first. But I think the scope I had on my knee in September kind of scared them away. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's one of the things. It's not many times in professional sports or any type of sporting event that something like that gets done and nobody knew it. So it was pretty impressive that all of a sudden, bam, done. And for CL not to know, because he's never at our games except for once a year. So I figure he had his ear to the grindstone waiting on every trade to happen. So I'm disappointed in him. I'll end it with that.
Thanks. I thought it was going back.
Oh, no, I knew it was good.